You're listening to Hey Pal, What's New with JohnAlex and Greg. Hey Pal, What's New is a product of Sack of Sin Entertainment. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and all other social media platforms. Hey Pal, What's New can be found on Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and all other podcast locations. Or check us out at sackofsin.com or heypalwhatsnew.com. Warning, Hey Pal, What's New contains explicit content. JohnAlex and Greg are a pair of vulgar Gen Xers. If you are easily offended, please stop listening and go download a nice tame podcast like
The Multiverse Fancast.
You have been warned.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
That's right, Gregry.
Unlimited power.
What? Fucking Jedi.
Hey everybody, it's Hey Pal, What's New? I'm Greg and that's Emperor Palpatine over there. The best $10 you ever spent. $10, I'll kill you, friend. Anyway.
That's right. Best $10 I ever spent.
That's right. Yeah, indeed. But yeah, we're early, guys.
That and the 2 blowjobs in Waterbury.
Yeah, that's worth. It's two blowjobs.
2 blowjobs, $10.
That's 2 Waterbury blowjobs.
That's $5 each.
Yeah. Or I don't know. Anyway, we're a little burnt out.
It's been a long day.
It's been a very long day for me and my pal here because we just got back from the Newburgh Toy
and Collectible
Fair. Our first live appearance.
Yeah.
And it was quite a hoot, man. We had a good time. We did some connections. People came over, got some free swag, did the old QR code to check out our podcast. And we met a lot of cool people, man.
Especially one very cool dude.
Yes, the very cool dude. We did meet, I did meet Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility while I was in the bathroom. Poor
Did
guy's
you jerk him off?
Poor guy's like drying his hands, and I'm like, Pete Pardo. He's like, what? I'm like, dude, I'm a fan of your show. He's like, oh, cool, thanks.
We gotta connect with those guys and get on that podcast and talk to them.
Yeah, they were cool guys. I said we were gonna stop by, but we never did. We never got a chance to. And I told him to stop by ours, but he never did. So, thanks for nothing.
You know why?
We're fucking hacks. Absolutely, my friend. Yes, but we did have a lot of fun with our friend Tolly.
Yeah,
Thanks for Tolly for letting us tag along and hawk our wares. And is
that our new segment of the show? Tag along with Tolly.
Tag along with Tolly. I would do that, sure. But it was nice. He had his little Ken jacket on. He was very suave.
He looked very metro.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. And he, apparently he did really well, which was good.
Yeah,
so
he
had a good day, and yeah, we met some cool people. Like one of the people that we met. You want to tell them about who we met over there?
Jim Martin.
Jim Martin, not the guy from Faith No More.
No. Jim Martin, let me see, is a puppeteer. I want to pull it up.
There's Jim Martin from Faith No More. There he is, puppeteer and director.
Yes. The one thing I know him from that I found this out today was he was the puppeteer of Gary Gnu on the Great Space Coaster.
Yes.
Which we found that out as we were getting ready to leave and packing up, and I was like, motherfucker.
I know. The whole time he had his little
The
sign
whole
over there.
time? The whole time?
The whole time! Yeah, we walked up to him, and a really nice guy, him and his wife. They were adorable together.
I found out they own the rights to the Great Space Coaster now. They bought them.
Yes.
They can't air them, but they own the rights to Great Space Coaster. They're looking to create action figures of the characters from the show, which would be so Sign me up. I'm first in line.
Dude, how psyched were you when his lovely wife gave us Gary Gnu pins?
His lovely wife gave us Gary Gnu pins.
Yes. So anybody...
No GNUs is good GNUs with Gregry GNU.
You thought the two of us were like little kids. We're like, what are you going to give us little fingers?
She handed me that pen. I came a little. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I was a little erect. It was a good time. But
yeah, he was Pete Preston Rabbit, Harry the Hoppin' Haystack, Betty Lou's dad, and additional Muppets on Sesame Street.
Elmo's World.
A bunch of stuff like movies, Eureka's Castle, Once Upon a Tree, Great Space Coaster, Dragon Tales. He did some of the additional voices in the show, like Jim Henson's Play Along. So Bear in the Big Blue House.
Wow, yeah, he's done a lot of cool stuff.
I wonder who he was on Bear in the Big Blue House.
I don't know. We'll have to ask him. We're hoping to get him on the podcast.
Yes.
We're in touch.
Special episode dedicated to him.
Yes. Yeah. It brought us back. There was a lot of stuff like walking through. They had some really good booths with, like, nostalgia trip. It was definitely a nostalgia trip because, you see, like, your Mego dolls and your Star Wars stuff and somebody had Menudo dolls. It was like, wow, this is really cool stuff. I didn't buy anything, unfortunately. The hotel that they have it in, though, man.
Oh, Jesus.
I know they're trying to renovate or rebuild, but that is officially the Creeper Motel, which I'm not going to tell that story. You're going to have to.
I think they could use that hotel for the next season of the Bates Motel.
Seriously, I had to park in the back where the hotel rooms were.
Yeah,
and walk by, and the curtains, like half of them were down. A few of them had little notifications on it, so I think they were either condemned or
shit.
It was not good. So it was kind of a sketchy place, but everybody there was super nice, and they had a huge turnout. I mean, the place was busy.
And Justin always said, and last time I was there, that's what happened. Is like just before lunchtime, around like 11:30, 12 o'clock. It goes dead. It's like nobody. And then around 1:30, all of a sudden people just start coming back in. But it was nonstop the whole time we were there.
Yeah. And then it died out at like around 3:30, 4 o'clock. So we just packed up. And now we're here. And we decided to do it early just to see which one of you freaking are around.
Nobody.
Yeah. No, nobody right now. But hey, it's a surprise, man. Surprise, motherfucker.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Rude dies, motherfucker.
No, spoiler. Come on, dude. Don't do that. I got to change this number. It's episode 109.
109 times.
Let me just... PayPal confetti? No? Okay.
No,
back to it.
We're not celebrating this shit. But yeah, no, it was good, and we hope to do some more in the future.
Yeah, we're looking at the... there's a toy and collectible fair in White Plains on May 19th.
Yeah.
So we'll keep you posted on that one if we're going to be there. That one, I want all of our fucking friends to come by and say hi. Yeah. I think we may be recording, not live, but recording there. I'll bring all the equipment. We could sit down as long as we have a place to plug in. Sit down, and if we get a guest, I can be like, come on, have a seat, let's talk, and record us with them to put on the show later. Yeah, I mean, this was more of like a soft opening. We're like, all right, let's just sit down and see what's going to happen. And like I said, everybody was really cool, nice, came up. Some were generally interested. Some were just like, what the hell are these guys? Believe it or not, we were like the only ones that had like a banner. Yeah. Everybody else just like put their stuff up. We were like, hey. And we had our video going of like episodes and animations and stuff. So I think next time when we do it, we'll definitely do like a little bit more to it, Now we know what to expect. Yeah. Because people were looking at us like, everybody's got the same old, comic books and Funko Pops and all these collectibles and stuff, and then there's like two schmoes sitting over there with a video playing and it just says, "Hey pal, what's new?" And people kept looking. I was like, "Dude, take a fucking sticker. They're free. Take a sticker, take a pin, take a magnet, whatever." Like, can I take a couple of things? I'm like, "Yes, yeah." That's why yes. That's why they're there. Yeah, but I think it was definitely interesting. It was my first time just exhibiting at a con of sorts. I feel like if I didn't get COVID from my wife last week when she had it, I might have gotten it today. You better swab and take some Purell and put it in your butthole because it was a little grimy. Especially that bathroom. I will tell you that back room I took you to where I was like, it smells like mildew and piss back here. When I was bringing stuff out to my car, I went that way past that room. Yeah. And as I walked past, like, there's the piss smell. Oh, you found the piss smell. I did. Oh, because when I walked in, it just smelled like a pedophile's basement. Gregory, how would you know what a pedophile's basement smelled? Never mind. Yeah. Save that for your therapist.
No, we talked about that on the Christmas episode with yesteryears.
People can't see, but I've got my live nude sign.
Oh yeah, you can't really see it with the. It's just kind of a phallic kind of L. That's
my
okay.
live nudes neon sign.
Yeah,
Temu.
Temu. Yes,
Temu.
Temu. Yeah, that was the one thing I learned at the Super Bowl, which we'll get into all the delicious trailers that we saw. We took last week off because of the Super Bowl, and now we got to catch up.
Well, and because my wife had COVID.
And your wife had COVID, yeah.
And I didn't want a chance getting anybody sick, man. Last thing I want to do is I was testing and still testing negative, but I'm paranoid that you come over and the next thing you know, 3 days later, we both have COVID. It's like, dude, you fucking gave me COVID.
I know. I had a horrible cold 2 weeks ago, so I was like, I don't want to catch anything. I'm finally feeling better. So, yeah. So that was pretty much the what's new, pretty much with both of us. There really hasn't been, the wife had COVID. We, once again, thank you to the Garden State Picker, our buddy Tolly, for letting us tag along.
Absolutely.
Thank you to Sea of Tranquility. Thank you to Jim Martin. Yes. Very nice guy. And everybody that
or as I call him, Santa. I love. Can I just say he is so funny in that when he was telling us the story about the terminology that they use in Pittsburgh.
Yes,
and he's like
jagoff.
Calling people a jagoff. He goes every now and then they throw it in something. I go, the writers for that must be from Pittsburgh because nobody says that outside. I'm like, I've said that.
Yeah, maybe it was more common in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But him and his wife, we kept looking at them. We're like relationship goals.
Oh my god, they're just hugging each other, loving, and just so sweet and cute.
It was like a Hallmark friggin' Norman Rockwell painting. That's what we kept talking about relationship goals, with our wives and girlfriends. It's like that's what you want to do. You want to get old together and just pile a bunch of shit in an RV and travel around and do stupid shit. That's what they seem to be doing, but. Yeah, and investing a lot of money in an 80s show. And
he's going to be at the May 18th show because he said he's like, his wife's name is Crystal, right?
Yeah.
And he said, or whatever her name is, it'll come to me again.
Yeah.
He said, I'll go to get her out of the house.
Yeah.
They're just we're just looking for something to do. And I don't know.
Yeah. It just seems like they have just a bunch of stuff that they're like, hey, if we sell it, we sell it. If not, then whatever. Yeah,
they paid $100 for a table. I don't know what they pay for a table, but $100 for a table just to sit here and talk to interesting people all day. And
why not? Yeah, why not, man? If it's if you sell a couple of things, Tolly said he did well, so excited for him because he said last year was kind of a dud.
Yeah,
this year was better. So yeah, that was pretty much our whole big to do, man. There was nothing really on my end that.
Nope, that was it.
Besides that, I mean, I know I've just been. With Zoe, with all her college auditions. She did WestCon. She went to my alma mater. I don't think I told this story that we went to the alma mater, and I was telling her that there's certain teachers in your life, right? There's certain teachers that have shaped me as a musician, as a creative.
Right.
And, this is one of her schools that she's like, maybe, I don't know, it's a little bit too close to home, but, they have a really good music program, and she wants to be a music teacher. And I said, I know that you want to do this, but I said the professors that I studied with in college, Doc Isaacs and Professor Lewis, were the two main people besides Stockberger that formed me as a musician,
okay,
and as a creative. Brilliant people. And I'm like, but I graduated 30 years ago. You ain't gonna be there. Sure as shit, dude. I sit down. Doc Isaac stands up. And he's there. He's been there 34 years.
Fucking hell.
He started in 1990, and I was a freshman in 1990 and took his class when he first started.
Wow.
And he was still there.
Did you talk to him?
Yes.
Oh.
And
spill the tea.
Zoe looked at me because I was talking about it before we got there, and he stood up, and she was like, oh, my God, is that him? I'm like, that's him. It was like I saw freaking Elvis. I was like, oh, my God, it's Doc Isaacs. Such a brilliant composer, musician, choir guy. Funny as hell, really entertaining. Talked for an hour while the kids were doing a tour of the place. And then he finished and then he kind of left. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I didn't get a chance to see him. But then as I was sitting out there with Zoe, we were waiting and he just walked by and I was like, Doc Isaacs. And he was like, oh, hey. And I was like, I just want to say when you started in 1990, I was a freshman, and I took your class, and you were super influential to me. And he was like, oh my God, thank you so much. And he goes, yeah, I'm at that age now where I'm teaching students, the kids of the students I used to have. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, yeah. He goes, what's your name? And I'm like, Greg. And he goes, Greg who? And I'm like, oh, Greg Gilroy. He's like, oh shit, I know who you are. Like, he remembered.
Holy shit.
Well, you got to think like, and I was like, yeah, sure, he doesn't remember me, whatever. But even Zoe said in the car, she's like, well, you were like one of his like first students,
right.
like first graduating class. Like, I'm sure he remembered you. And I'm like, I guess, I don't know. But that was my I had to get that one out because that was my fun story. And she went to New Hampshire this weekend.
Did you squirt a little in your pants when he said that?
I was like, can I have your autograph? He shook my hand. He's like, so good to see you. And I'm like,
it's
good to
almost
see
as
you,
good as
man.
the guy Gnu pin.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I mean, so we met a lot of famous people this week and past weekend. So let's get on to the you know what I'm talking about.
John, you got any news?
I do.
Yeah, let me tell you. Yikes. Oh, shit.
R.I.P. Mojo Nixon.
If you don't have no Mojo Nixon, then your store could use some fixing.
That's right.
He's
not only is Elvis everywhere, but now Mojo Nixon is everywhere. Yeah, he died on an outlaw country cruise of a heart attack while fucking partying all night. True Mojo style.
Exactly. If anybody doesn't know about the old Mojo Nixon, I mean, Debbie Gibson was pregnant with my two-headed love child.
Debbie Gibson was pregnant with my two-headed love child.
I did put one of his songs on the playlist.
What song?
I put on, I'll tell you in a second, Tie My Pecker to My Leg.
Nice. You know what's funny? I don't know if you know Lucinda Williams.
Yes.
So he is responsible for me discovering Lucinda Williams because he did some project with her, played on an album or something. And I was like, who is this lady? She's good. And it led me to look her up and find out about him.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody knows, not everybody, but people know about the Dead Milkmen song when he says Mojo Nixon in it. And you're like, who the fuck's Mojo Nixon? And then you look it up and you're like, oh my God, this guy was like.
I knew Mojo before that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was one of those Dr. Demento finds too. But he was on 120 Minutes. Yes. That's where I'd always discovered stuff like that. I think I discovered Mojo Nixon on 120 Minutes, and it might have been the Elvis Is Everywhere song.
I think that was the first one that kind of popped, and then the Debbie Gibson was pregnant and all that stuff. Dead. And yeah, he's dead. But he went out the way he wanted to, man.
Yeah, exactly.
He went out true Mojo Nixon style. So, big win to old Mojo.
Well, yeah. I'm being a little more stingy about my news and only talking about shit I actually really care about. We're going to talk about other stuff in other little segments. But this one really got me because I didn't know about this Evil Dead spinoff that they're making.
They're still going, yeah.
And it's Sebastian Vinicek. Sounds French. He's saying that. Here's what he says about his new untitled Evil Dead spinoff movie. That it will be a nasty film from which you will come away tested. He said, quote, I told the studio that I wanted to make a nasty film, a film that hurts, from which you come away tested. I'm going to put all the horror I have inside it. It will be cathartic, and if I haven't ruined my career and I continue to make films behind it, I will move on to something other than horror. If all goes well, we could start filming at the end of 2024, beginning in 2025, and release hopefully for Halloween of 2025.
Okay.
So start filming end of this year into the beginning of next year, and then release it for Halloween 2025.
So they're saying it's like a spin-off. I mean, all those ones like Evil Dead Rise was technically a spin-off. It's just the book lands somewhere, somebody finds the book, opens it, hijinks ensue.
That's right. Which I think is you know what? I think that's brilliant. Take these movies, and instead of trying to remake that movie, just go, look, we're going to give you another story.
Yeah.
Like, between this and this, what the fuck happened to that book? Well, we're going to give you stories of what happened to that book and follow the book, almost like an anthology. The book came in contact with these people, and here's what happened.
Yeah, and that's what they did with Evil Dead Rise, how they got to the building. You know, they showed that where it was in the other house. And let me tell you, man, those are pretty big shoes. I mean, the Fede Alvarez one, the remake was like... They call it a remake. I think it's a little bit more of a sequel.
I resisted that for a long time.
You did.
It's going to be a remake. Yep. Like, I don't need to see a remake. Fucking original was good enough for me.
Yeah. But it was something where that was the movie that turned me on to Fede Alvarez because I knew of him from Don't Breathe. That's a really good flick. Don't Breathe 2 was kind of whatever. They did a Terminator 2 on him and tried to make him a good guy. I'm like, did you see what he did in the first one? I don't think he's a good guy. But very cool movie. Fede, and he's doing the new Alien, so nothing but high hopes for that. Hey, Dan. Oh, that was we met Dan today.
Yes,
Mandy Anderson.
Remember I told you about the guy who was a biker? We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
That Mila played. I don't know if you were standing there when I was talking to Justin about that.
No.
Oh, because Justin was telling the story. Okay, Justin told some story about his sperm donor dying. And his step sibling calling him and telling him that's great. Because I was tempted to be like, yo, I heard he's got a Harley. What you doing with that thing?
Oh my God. Yeah, we did meet a lot of cool people like Dan.
That's Mandy.
Yeah. And we got Mandy. And so anyway, yeah, I mean, I like the way they're going with the Evil Dead movies. You can't recreate Ash. Just leave it at that. They kind of ran that into the ground a little bit. And like I said, the Fede Alvarez one and Evil Dead Rise I had a really good time with. You just got to make it like bonkers, off the wall, freaking horror and see what happens, Yeah, it's movies like that. They're always going to do well. So I'm excited about that. Definitely.
The only other real interesting news is going to lead us into everything else we're pretty much going to talk about today, which is they finally announced the Fantastic Four cast, the main four.
Yeah, the biggest unkept secret in Hollywood.
With Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards.
Okay.
Ebon Moss Barack, who we better know him as the fucking Cuz from
The Bear.
The Bear.
Yep.
You got Vanessa Kirby, which Ebon Moss is going to play Ben Grimm.
Yes.
Vanessa Kirby as
Sue Storm.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where she's from. I know the name.
Yeah.
I know I don't want to say she's been around the block. That just sounds so inappropriate. How I got here. What's she from? She's from Napoleon, Pieces of a Woman, Fast and the Furious.
Oh, she's from
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, Mission Impossible. She's been in The Crown, which is a very popular thing. She was in Napoleon.
Well, she's going to be our Sue Storm.
Yep.
But what I find a little bit more fascinating than all that is we've got Joseph Quinn.
Yes.
Joseph Quinn as
Johnny Blaze, man, the Human Torch.
But you might know him better as Eddie from Stranger Things.
Yeah, I mean that's some good casting. I mean, at first I was like, Pedro Pascal, he's a little.
But see, we were talking about this before we came on. They're billing Pedro Pascal as the new Tony Stark /
Iron Man
for Marvel. That's a commitment. That would for Robert Downey Jr. That was 15 years of RDJ, kind of like spearheading the Marvel universe, if you will.
Yeah,
I mean that's debatable among some people, but still, are we gonna have Pedro Pascal for 15 years? Like, is he gonna want to do this for fucking 15 years?
And how old did we say he was? He was 48,
47.
Okay, so 57,
which is not old, but 15 years. That's 57, 60 something. Like, not that he can't do it when he's old, but like,
yeah. I mean, it's interesting. Yeah, because technically you do have to have Reed Richards carry the MCU pretty much going forward.
Right. He was Microchip in Punisher.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, all right, it's good casting, I think.
Right.
I would have preferred kind of a younger, like kind of unknown kind. But the tough thing I was thinking about, and I've heard this from other shows too, is that with something like back in the day.
Back in the days when I caught me drinking.
That's right. We're old. Back when these movies started, the actual character, the superhero, sold it. It didn't matter. Like, it wasn't like, hey, Robert Downey Jr. is playing Iron Man. It's like Iron Man. Well, even I don't even want to say that, but like Captain America, Thor, all those guys. The IP itself sold it. You didn't give a fuck who was doing it. Now, since Marvel's kind of taken a little bit of a beating, and they need to have.
Come on. I don't want to debate this, but have we even had a fucking Hey, it's Tommy. That's T-Bone.
Hey, T-Bone.
Have we even had a good fucking Fantastic Four movie? I'm not even talking that 1990 piece of shit they made.
No, not that one.
The one that they used, that film that they made so that they could hold on to the rights to the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I remember the other ones. They were Rise of the Silver Surfer. They don't stick in my memory too much. I mean,
Fan Foreskin.
Oh, Fan Foreskin was freaking garbage. It was so garbage. So they need, and especially now with Marvel, they need a win.
They totally need a win.
Yeah, and not so much as like people are talking about.
The rest of our news is going to help with that win, I think.
Oh,
because you've got three things going on here, and we'll get into all of them. But you've got Fantastic Four, you've got Deadpool, Wolverine, and to a degree, you've got X-Men '97. I think those three things are going to pull everything back together to focus a direction for Marvel in a whole new direction, this new phase that they're in.
They have to start moving in with the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. I think we'll talk about the Deadpool and Wolverine.
Popular IP that the average person who's not a comic book nerd is going to know and be comfortable going to see and not go, oh, I'm going into something what the fuck I'm going into, so I don't really care about seeing it, because they'll at least know some of this stuff. They know who the X-Men are. You know, we've seen enough X-Men shit. They know who the Fantastic Four are.
Yeah,
pretty much. At this point, if they don't know who Deadpool is, who cares? But people know enough about Deadpool to, like, that's a good movie. I'm going to go see it. Yeah. I think this will center everything back and explain a lot of stuff and pull it together.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, Deadpool and Wolverine that's a clean, like, that's got to be a clutch, man. Like, there's a lot of pressure on them. I thought it was funny that the day that Madame Web, which we haven't seen and we're never going to.
I will go see it. I have a Regal Unlimited, so I have no reason not to go see it.
You're gonna bite? Yeah, you're famous for biting the bullet on these things.
I'll bite the pillow for you.
Yeah, thank you. But this is the type of movie. I thought it was funny, like when Madame Web freaking premiered on Valentine's Day. Marvel was like, oh, God, let's pull out our fucking big dicks because we need to cover up this piece of shit. 'Cause how many people were talking about Madame Web, how bad it was, and referring to it as an MCU movie?
Oh, my God. And not just that.
Here's my girl. Hey, babe.
Not just that, but, like, everybody... I've talked to people, and they were just like, wait, that movie's out? They had no idea it was actually even out. They knew it's been coming, but they didn't know it came out on Valentine's Day.
But it just... that movie just freaking baffles me. We were tempted after the con to be like, should we just go see it just to see what the freaking...
I still may tonight. I don't know. It depends on how tired I am. I'm drinking some fucking... I've got a giant cup of death... What is it?
Death, like Black Death coffee or something?
Death something coffee.
They're not a sponsor. Who gives a shit?
It's yeah. And it's the extra bold, so who knows? I'll be up until like tomorrow.
I don't know. You don't have work tomorrow. I do.
No. I gotta go drop off my car tonight. So I'm thinking that's gonna pull. And as mentioned, right, X-Men '97.
Yeah.
Is the continuation Death Wish coffee? Yes.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
It's the extra bold chocolate cherry with hints of chocolate and cherry.
Fancy.
X-Men '97 continuation of the 5 or 6 year animated show that I think ran from 92 to 96 or 97 that was on. We talked about this. I didn't get into that. No. So I don't know how much I give a shit about this. It's going to play a part, but I don't see Marvel sewing this too much into the cinematic universe. They haven't done it with anything else, but I never got into the show. That was 92. I was 2 years out of high school, away at Oneonta. So the last thing I'm doing is fucking sitting up watching cartoons.
Yeah.
I'm out partying. I'm out doing whatever. I graduated from college 95, right? This show's still on. Within 6 months, I moved to Florida. And then I was back here by 96, and still not what I'm watching is the X-Men cartoon on Saturday. So this was not my brand of vodka.
At this particular time in my life, Proctor Society was doing very well. Yes. So I was not sitting at home, in my underwear watching X-Men, whatever it was, the animated series. So
the people who love it.
They do. People got all excited when,
but then those are probably the same people who like the Masters of the Universe live action movie.
This is true too. Tolly. You fuck.
Totally, you fuck.
I like that movie. I'm like, oh, and you liked Howard the Duck too, didn't you?
I
didn't
like
you?
Howard the Duck.
Well,
Where else am I going to get to watch a duck fuck a chick?
duck fuck a chick.
She's a duck fucker.
Yeah, she is a duck fucker. Definitely.
I think everybody glazes over the fact that she fucked a duck.
Oh no, it's it's highly documented that she did in fact fuck that duck.
That's right. And then she went on to fuck Marty McFly.
She's a
right? Isn't she the same one who played
yes,
Marty? Not Marty, but who
Marty's mom. Yeah. Calvin Klein. It says so in your underwear. Yeah. Oh yes. What was it? I keep wanting to say Leah Remini, but it's not.
Someone's
yeah.
gonna say it in the chat.
So do we go deep into these trailers then? I mean, we went over in X-Men '97.
Well, the one trailer. Let's just talk about the big. Do we want? Well, we're just gonna go right into this. Deadpool and Wolverine.
We'll do it quick. Ready?
Now, hold on there 1 second here, young fella.
Yeah, we're cutting it down a little short. Trailers. Anyway,
Deadpool and Wolverine. Because technically, the X-Men '97 was a trailer too.
Yeah, this was one of the big Super Bowl, which I was surprised.
Can I just say?
Yes.
The genius behind this trailer. When they're doing a $17 million Jesus Wash Your Feet commercial, which I don't fucking get.
I don't know.
And Scientology did their commercial. These guys had like a 10-second yo, go to this website and check out the Deadpool trailer online.
Well, a lot of the movie trailer. I think that was a trend that started last year, where it was like, look, we can pay a shit ton to do the third, but everybody's gonna watch it online anyway. So just do like a quick 10, 15 second, go watch it online.
Yeah, have Ryan Reynolds in the Deadpool thing going, what are you doing here? Go online, check out the Deadpool trailer there.
Yeah,
go ahead, they'll wait.
Yeah, it was
just
brilliant.
Hit pause.
And I was surprised that they dropped it so early during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I thought we're gonna watch it. I mean, I did watch the Super Bowl, and fuck you, Chiefs. Anyway,
I didn't watch the halftime show. Look, I know you fuck you, Chiefs, but when the assistant coach from the Chiefs, is from fucking Mayapack.
Yeah, I mean the Chiefs. People are talking. I don't want to get too much into it, but it's I didn't. This Super Bowl, I walked in. I didn't give a fuck about either one of them. Everybody was like, of course, I'm a diehard Giants fan. I know. I'm sorry. Could be worse. Could be the Jets.
Whoa.
But
both those it kind of was a Jet.
Yeah, both teams were.
Well, the former Jet who scored the final touchdown.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
They cut him earlier this year and traded him over to Kansas City. He's like, thank you. I will go win this fucking Super Bowl with them.
Yep. But yeah, it was like after they were out, I'm like, oh God. I'm like, well, all right. Buffalo Bills are still in. That's technically a New York team. They were out. And I'm like, well, Detroit Lions. They haven't been in it for 23 years. Now they're out too. Who's left? Oh, the Chiefs again. And, I mean, they're a great team, but I was rooting for the 49ers, unfortunately, just because, I don't like dynasties unless it's the New York Yankees, which even them I freaking bailed on. But anyway, yeah, to make a long story longer, they dropped that trailer early, and I was like, sweet. And at first, I was kind of, and then when I watched the trailer, obviously 50 more times.
Look. The coach from the Chiefs.
Yeah.
This is a quote from him about winning back-to-back Super Bowls. Some of the best things come in twos. 2-for-1 beers, double dip in nachos, and ask my wife who gives her the best 2 inches of her life.
Did you ever that clip that was going around with him all the time? He goes, "How about that D?
How about the D?
How about that D?" Or that one where Travis Kelce's yelling at the coach.
Oh my God!
And everybody
People need to get over themselves with that.
But it was funny.
I get it, but
it was funny, and people would just put in what he's saying the whole time, like Tony Stark built this in a cave full of scraps
from a box of parts.
I want you to blast that hunk of junk out of the sky. Such nerd shit.
And he went on the podcast with him and his brother, and basically his brother was like, "Dude, you know you're out of line." He goes, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah,
I admit it, and Coach and I talked. It's
the heat of the moment.
It doesn't excuse it, and I apologize, and I talked, and we're good.
Yeah, people get upset. I mean, and I'll admit too, people get upset over dynasties and winners and all that stuff. Where, you win the Super Bowl twice, you're dating Taylor Swift, and everybody, But it was always funny too, the fact that whenever something cool happened, they're all focusing on Taylor Swift. when they were shit in the bed, you didn't see Taylor Swift, you know, like, and who was that other freaking crazy Annie woman with the upside down? She's wearing an upside down cross and doing the devil signs. I'm like, hail Satan! All right,
one
just
of them
fine.
was fucking Ryan Reynolds' wife that was in there with her.
Oh yeah.
So Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, let's get back to the meat of this.
So it looks. I mean, I don't want to. You can watch a dozen fucking spoiler channels and hear everything about it.
People are going nuts with this shit.
Look, I don't think. I think this is what everybody says. They've given us enough to see that the TVA is involved.
Yep.
And it's not a lot of the same stuff we saw in the Loki series. It almost looks like it's different on a different level. Like when they brought Loki and interviewed him, he was in that one room. This is a different room. He doesn't have the fucking collar. He doesn't have all that shit.
And it looks like more of like under new management, you know, because more, you know, Mobius is gone. Wow.
I would. Well, it's nice that they're showing you other TVA agents other than Mobius.
Yeah.
I don't watch Succession.
No.
But apparently the guy interviewing him is like some big hotshot guy on Succession that everybody loves.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, give me a good movie. It looks like we're getting that alternate, that wasteland where Loki went.
Yeah.
It looks like a lot of this takes place in there.
Yeah.
Where when they trim the timelines, all the variants, they went up there. And I'm thinking that's where Wolverine's coming in. It's a variant of Wolverine that got trimmed and now is in this universe.
Yeah. I forget what it's called. I think it's the Void or something like that, where everything gets dumped. You know, you see the 20th Century Fox thing in the background.
And people have picked that apart. Like, that's the 20th Century Fox logo from this era where it still said Century on it before they went to, you know, Fox Films or, you know, Century Films or whatever.
It really sucks to the fact that, like, this movie, too, it's like, you know, at first I was like, oh, man, they're not showing Wolverine in the trailer. Like, I was kind of bummed about that. But then at the same time, I'm like, dude, all these freaking sites are spoiling the shit out of it, sending pictures of him on set. Like, we already know what he looks like, so who cares? You know, like, and it was just it was a well done trailer, really well done.
Gave me just enough to get excited.
Yep. And everybody's just picking the thing where it was like, oh, it's Dr. Doom. No, it's not Dr. Doom.
No, it's not Dr. Doom.
Oh, that could be in, like, the Age of Ultron. Oh, guess what, kids? There's freaking snowy woods in a lot of different places. It does look like it, though.
Justin brought up the Dr. Doom, and I'm showing you. Nobody else. They are, you know, everybody can't see this, but he's showing pictures like this guy in the hood and this, and I was like, they're not going to put Dr. Doom in unless it's some sort of like pruned variant version, and I think that's a stretch. I think they put somebody in there so fans like us can lose our shit. Because when I first saw it, I was like, oh wow, that could be Dr. Doom. But so did I.
But it's close enough where people are going to speculate, but you know it's not, you know.
Right. And then people pointed out at the end of the trailer when, you know, Deadpool's laying on the ground. I keep saying Wade is laying on the ground and Logan is standing over him. You got that, like, the hair and the claws come out and it's a shadow.
Yep.
That there's the comic book on the ground.
Yep.
Which has Doom on the cover. It's Secret Wars.
That's one of the I think it's Secret Wars 2, I think it might have been. But, like, anyway, it's a Secret Wars comic.
And I even said to Justin, I was like, maybe that in that scene, like, Wade picks that up and goes, oh, what is this? And Logan's like, oh, that's what's still to come. But I just don't think they're going to put him in right now. It would be too much, too fast.
No.
Trying to shoehorn so much shit in there that it's like, is this just going to be a fan service film where you're going to give us everything we've been looking for?
No,
Please
I mean,
don't.
there's going to be a freaking cameos galore.
Oh,
I mean,
of
they
course.
have to do. I'm hoping what they do with this movie is what the Flash should have done in Flashpoint, because you knew that they were redoing the whole DCEU.
Right.
He could have Flashpointed the fuck out of that thing, and instead of showing George Clooney as Batman, it's like, okay, here's your new Batman. Here's your new freaking
Give me
Aquaman.
Robert Pattinson as Batman.
Yeah. Well, here's that. Aquaman? Yeah, no, he's Lobo now, and we got a new Aquaman with the blonde hair. You know, like, just reset everything, but they didn't have the time, obviously.
No.
So, I think
I think that's one of the things this movie is going to do is use that alternate universe, the multiverse, to just kind of reset everything and give us new characters, new everything to reset Marvel totally.
Yeah, and I think...
Because he's Marvel Jesus.
He's Marvel Jesus. No, but also there is
Pronounced Jesus.
a very popular run of Deadpool where Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe.
Yes.
So I think it's very going to be similar to that. I think it's going to be more of like Deadpool kills the Fox Universe.
Yeah.
So hopefully by the end, as much as we love, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, I think in the end you get a new Wolverine. There's a lot of big theories about, when he's walking into Madripoor.
Yeah.
Where that's Daniel Radcliffe doing Wolverine.
Oh, you think so? That'd be
with the patch, they have like the alternate one where he's like there.
Where he goes to Madripoor.
Madripoor.
Where we got fucking what's his name dancing.
Oh, freaking 15 minutes of Zemo. Dancing Zemo was my favorite. I could watch that shit all day long. That's a big theory too that people were like, you see him because you look at it and people are analyzing the shit out of this trailer. As you know,
that's brilliant though. You give us these different characters they've speculated we're going to play Wolverine or whoever. Give us all that as a way of getting us to accept a new Wolverine.
Yeah.
Look, I accept that because you explained why this all is with the multiversal theory that in all these other universes, yes, there's a Logan, but it's not always doesn't always look the same.
Yeah, so like when he's walking into Madripoor, you could see he's in that Madripoor from the comics with the patch. You don't see the patch, obviously. You see the back.
You see him from behind.
But you look at him, it's like he doesn't look as jacked as Hugh Jackman is.
Fucking Daniel Radcliffe is fucking jacked though.
Yeah, but like in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
in a fucking big cock, ripped, lean muscle kind of way, not broad muscled.
Yeah, because we all remember that, if we really want to be comic accurate with Wolverine, he's
a
tiny.
little guy. He's like 5'6".
Yeah. So I think that would be
I only know that because Matt Serra on the podcast, the UFC podcast he does with Jimmy, always goes into how much he fucking loves Wolverine because he's a badass short guy just like him.
Yep. Yeah. So we might get a couple of different Wolverines where we might pass the torch to a new one. I hope so. But I think this is hopefully
pass the torch to a bunch of new characters that
kill the old Fox universe and bring us all new X-Men, and they gotta dump that because we have to start with that too. I mean, at this point, we're starting to run out of friggin', we're at the third string. We got to start bringing in the ones we paid for. So, or we didn't pay for it; they did.
Well, that's our big trailer news.
Yeah. So I mean,
how will you explain that?
I just explained it.
We just did. Yeah. Thanks, Pedro.
So, I did watch it. Look, I will just say really quick, I'm still fucking hate watching Masters of the Air. That fucking airplane bomber TV show from, I guess, Spielberg or somebody that's on Apple TV. I am literally at this point hate watching it because I'm waiting for it to get good. That's how bad it is. I'm waiting for it to get good.
Good luck with that. Yeah. I laughed once because I was flipping through the channels. I think it was late on, and I just saw a new episode of La Brea. I was like, is he still watching that?
Nope, not watching that either. I did go to the movies I think it was the Monday Mystery Movie that Kate and I went to. And I mean, it's out in wide release now, so people get your asses to the theater because if we want to see more shit like this, it was so good. We saw Lisa Frankenstein.
We were thinking of seeing it this weekend, and I brought it up. We were like, I don't know.
The best way I can describe it is it's Edward Scissorhands meets Heathers and Rocky Horror minus the songs.
It looked very much like that. Like, now, is he a Frankenstein or is he a zombie? Or
she is like her mother died. I don't want to give away too much. Her mother had died. Her dad remarried. They moved to this new town. There's a cemetery in the woods behind where she lives. It's a really old cemetery, and there's this guy who lives in, he's got, his gravestone has a carving of his head. So she sits there and romanticizes him and, everything.
Yeah.
And at one point, she's like, I wish I was with you, and through circumstances, he comes back out of the grave.
Okay.
And she's like, I didn't mean I wanted to be with you I meant, I wanted to be dead. So it's very morbid in that way, but it definitely, looking at the trailer, it does have a very Tim Burton, John Hughes kind of vibe to it, which is really cool. Black comedy with some slasher vibe.
Yeah, and it's got very much the goth kind of The Cure and all that stuff in it.
I will give it 4 out of 5 pals for that nostalgia fun factor. If it wasn't for the nostalgia fun factor that made me feel like I was watching what could have been a John Hughes kind of horror film, I would have given it a solid 3.5. But it's Robin Williams' daughter. Who made this? She didn't write it, but she directed it. It's her first directorial debut, and good on her.
Yeah.
And I read an article. She even put a little nod to her dad in the movie, where at one point the dead guy is wearing suspenders, the rainbow work from work suspenders.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I think you will like it. It's a fun day out at the movies. There's like bullshit stuff. You're like, no, come on, stop it.
Well, it's
but who cares?
it definitely piqued my interest. Yeah, because looking at it, it was like, oh, this is a good throwback, 80s throwback.
I wonder what movie T-Bone's asking me. What movie was that? What was the name of that movie?
Lisa
Frankenstein. That one. I don't know. He might be referring to somebody else. Else.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the only movie I went back in the Greg Gilroy time machine, and I finally did a late to the party, and I watched The Marvels since it was on.
Hey, how y'all doing there? This is a great party.
That's a long one. Oh yeah, that's 20 seconds.
Yeah, that's a long one. Yeah, I saw. I finally watched The Marvels.
Wow.
And it was good. I enjoyed it.
We rewatched it. Mila never saw it. I didn't realize that. Kate and I went to the movies without her and saw it. And when it came on Disney Plus, she's like, excuse me. She's like, oh, I wanted to watch. She's watching. I was like, you haven't seen it? She's like, no. And I was like, it's fucking weird. Tommy, the movie that Kate and I went to is Lisa Frankenstein, but it's the Regal does the Monday mystery movie where they play a movie. $5 ticket. It's a movie that's not even out yet. It's like a preview for $5, and it usually comes out like 1 to 2 weeks after you go to the Monday mystery. Tomorrow, February 19th, they will be having the Monday mystery movie at Regal Cinemas at 7 p.m.
Any speculation of what it might be?
Yeah.
Well, we won't have to get into it.
It's that I don't forget the name of it. Everybody is speculating it's this one movie that like, all right, it's one of those like, the guy's daughter needs a heart transplant, and this woman helps raise all this money to get it, and then there's a giant snowstorm, and she gets offered the heart, so they have to travel, and everybody's out there shoveling the road so they can get through and get her to get her heart.
Oh boy, yeah,
boo.
Yeah,
I won't walk out, but I may fall asleep.
But yeah, I mean, as far as the Marvels go, I mean, I actually liked it better than the first Captain Marvel, and I get why there was a little bit of trepidation with it as far as like and people are concerned about that with the Deadpool movie, right? It's like, do I have to watch all this other shit to kind of know what's going on? It looks like, the TVA is involved, but it's not. You don't have to know all this stuff. If you go into the Marvels, right, all of a sudden you see Captain Marvel, right? If you're only just a movie person, you don't watch any of the Disney Plus stuff, all of a sudden now you got Monica Rambeau. She has powers, and wait, who's this other girl? Like, right. She's like that. So, like, I can understand the person that just watches the movies going, like, wait, I'm missing all this stuff. Like, for somebody who's watched WandaVision, and
I watched it all.
Yeah, and I love Miss Marvel. I thought that was a surprise for me. I didn't.
If you haven't watched Miss Marvel, guys, get your asses on Disney Plus and watch it.
She's adorable, and if you like cats, you're gonna like this. There's a lot of cats in it. It wasn't horrible. It's not Madame Web horrible.
Madame Web?
Madame Web.
17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh my God.
It's got a lower rating than fucking Founders Day.
I mean, people are like apologizing for Morbius.
Jesus.
They're like, yeah, Morbius wasn't that bad.
No. Oh God.
It's Morbin time, people. But yeah, quick review of it. It was a 3.5 out of 5.
Well, that's one of the things. Dune 2 is coming out, and Denis Villeneuve is saying that like the way he made Dune Part 2, which is weird. You don't have to have seen Part 1 to enjoy Part 2.
Well, I am gonna watch Part 1 before I see Part 2 because
Manny went to see it the other day. They re-released it. I guess I didn't realize that was a movie that came out during COVID and went right to
it was
Max.
it was day and date,
and nobody went to see that in the theater. I'm like, oh, and it just did a run in the theater for like the last week.
And people that loved it at home on Max went to go see it in the theater and they're like, holy shit, it's way better because you get the whole experience of it.
Yeah, I think I may have to hit the theaters if it's still around. Maybe I'll go tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that's on my list where it's like, I'm interested in seeing Dune 2. So I'm like, all right, well, I better watch the first one.
Look, if it comes out, March 1st or something like that? If they do one where I can go to the theater and watch Dune and Dune 2.
They're going to have to.
I'll do it I'll take a Saturday and do that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it would be something where it's one of those movies like Oppenheimer. I'm just fucking avoiding it. I'm like, it's a commitment. It's a couple of hours. I don't know if I have the time.
Well, Dune is like 2.5 hours, and Dune 2 is going to be like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, and it's it's based on, and people are just ranting and raving about it. So I'm like, okay, I got to freaking bite the bullet and start earning my keep here at the pod.
Earn your fucking keep, son.
That's
Don't
right.
be a jagoff.
Yeah, I mean, come on. The only thing we watched the Lisa Frankenstein, a freaking movie that was out a year ago.
Well, look,
and I did watch From Dusk Till Dawn. So keep it up with the.
and I'm rewatching Game of Thrones.
Yeah, so we're in a time capsule. I'm gonna have to come up with a theme for that
I
one.
just watched Pedro Pascal get his head crushed.
Nice.
He fucking takes his head, sticks his thumb through the guy, goes, "I raped your sister and killed her kids by crushing their heads like this." Pop, and pops his head like a fucking pimple.
Oh, not to be confused with crush it.
No.
I crush your head, crush it. Yeah, so I mean, as far as that and TV wise, the Rick and Michonne show is starting tonight. I might watch that, or I might just wait until tomorrow and watch it. I don't know.
Well, is this one of those like it's on TV tonight, or is it one of these? It's
I don't
on AMC Plus for Plus people tonight, but it'll be on TV like Tuesday.
No. Tonight is the premiere. They stopped with that whole bullshit because, for like when I had AMC Play, it was good for the fact that you don't get the commercials and you get it early and all that stuff, but you couldn't talk about it because nobody had seen it unless you had it, and then it gets spoiled. So I think they just were kind of like, all right, well, you can watch it. It'll be available on
I don't think
demand.
that enough AMC Plus subscribers to warrant
Yeah.
It didn't draw enough people to AMC Plus that.
Oh yeah, they do have their own show. It's The Ones Who Live.
The Ones Who Lived. It starts tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still.
They filmed it around here too. I think parts of it.
Maybe, yeah.
I know they filmed the Negan one here because I saw the listings for background for it. But,
Yeah, because I remember we were like, "Oh, that's it."
and I know we were talking about today the Fallout TV show that's coming. They filmed that at Indian Point.
Oh yeah, good old times. When I used to live in Peekskill, I was just like, "Good, I'm really close to Indian Point. That way, if it gets bombed, I get disintegrated
You're
right
waiting for
away."
those fucking Simpsons three-eyed fish to come up out of the water.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna.
blink.
I wasn't gonna hang around Chernobyl style, freaking, with my face melting off. I'm like, just fucking make me obliterated right away.
I'm already close enough to 3 Mile Island.
Exactly, just freaking wipe me out. So yeah, I mean, TV wise, I'm sure we'll have a review of the Rick and Michonne. I mean, the Ones Who Live. All right, it's the Rick and Michonne.
You know what?
show.
Check out our socials tonight. We'll post. I'll watch it tonight. I will post my reaction to that show tonight after I watch it.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna try to watch it. I mean, it's 7:30. I can get home. I think it's start 9 o'clock.
Yeah, but dude, in today's day and age, it's like if it starts at 7 o'clock, you can go onto the AMC site or your cable provider's thing and just watch it from the beginning. A
Yeah.
lot of those places do that. They're like, it goes live online at the same time that it goes on TV, so you could just pop on there. If it started at 7, you could pop on at 7:30 and go to the website and just start watching it from there from the beginning.
Yeah, it's not like the old days of Walking Dead where it was like, oh my god, I have to be home now. It's just kind of like, all right.
And the commercials would come out and be like, kid, shut up. Oh, the kid you're watching, it's like, kid, shut up, wait for a commercial.
Or I'd have to always wait when my kids were young when they were like, they'd have to go to bed and then like they come walking out at like 10 o'clock and it's like, like gotta pause it and be like, what? Daddy's watching his programs. But anyway.
on this episode of Hooker Hotels of Horror, are we going music?
Absolutely.
It's time for John's fat titty boobs. My titty boobs aren't as titty boobs as they used to be, so
That's right.
getting there. I'm working on it.
Yeah, the
Better
fats.
work it, girl.
Yeah, I mean the Fatso Fogarty challenge still going strong. Yeah, we'll get to that at the
Unlike
end.
my
I guess.
boners.
Yeah, I mean mine was kind of a stall. I think Tolly didn't
Totally
even
is
give
a
us.
stall too.
Yeah, we're all just. Don't worry, we're getting swole. Don't worry about it. Especially my boy over here. He's killing it. We're pretty much he's beating us both badly. But anyway,
Jeopardy style.
Exactly.
For those who don't know what I'm talking about, there's a contestant on Jeopardy. We talked about this today. It was the final Jeopardy, and the two contestants, she's in the middle, and the guy to her left and the guy to her right got the wrong answers. And they're like, how much did you guys bet? And they bet nothing. They get to her, and they're like, well, they both bet nothing. And she goes to do like the zeros, but she goes like this. It looks like that whole like I'm taking two dicks.
Yeah, and yet
it became a meme instantly.
Yeah, we're like it has to be. I didn't even look, but yeah. So anyway, we got to catch up a little bit of music. There's a lot of stuff that came out. First up on the list is old Kerry King from Slayer.
What's Kerry King doing since Slayer?
He's got his own band now.
God damn it!
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. He's got his own stuff going on. Actually, he released one song, "Idle Hands."
Okay.
It's Slayer-esque.
That's a tattoo shop out in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, Idle Hands.
I know someone who works there.
I think I know who that person is too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are Idle Hands.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, it's pretty much like a continuation of Slayer. It doesn't sound any different. You know, Kerry King's like, I wrote most of the shit, so I mean, insert screaming guy there. He's got a couple of people in the band that was pretty impressive. I mean, he's got Paul Bostaff, who was in Slayer before they ended, so it's kind of like two of the guys. Then they got Phil DeMel playing guitar. He's in Machine Head, and he's done in Violence and a bunch of other stuff.
Okay.
Singer from Death Angel. Is it Death Angel or Morbid Angel? I don't know. It's definitely check it out. It's on the Hey Pal, What's New 2024 playlist. So make sure you go on there, and you want to know what these songs sound like, because we don't want to get copyright demonetized or whatever the fuck. We'll just always give a little shout out there. So anyway, moving on. Another band. Our friends, the Louseketeers.
Oh, yes.
They have a new song out called No Prom Tonight. And if you're not familiar with the Louseketeers, local band.
Is that a song about Greg Gonzalez?
Yes.
Guys, you'll have to have the prom at my house.
I can't get my car started. Yeah, no. It's, they're actually now they're a 4-piece. They were a 3-piece for a while. The bass player who was playing in Moonlight left. And now they got a new bass player and a new guitar player, and it's still Val. Singing, playing guitar. It's if you're into like just girl riot punk shit. I mean, No Prom Tonight. Definitely check that out. That's another one on there.
It's on the playlist, man.
Yeah, man. Another one in there. There's
Hey Pal, What's New 2024 playlist.
Yes. Definitely check that out. Moving on. There's a bunch of other stuff here. There was a band that I found. I don't know how I found them, but they're a band called Brat. Very, very heavy band, with a female singer. I don't know, I saw them, I think it was like YouTube or something, where they showed up, and I was like, damn, this woman can freaking scream her head off. Kind of death metal-ish. They have a song called Hesitation Wound.
There we go.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, so if you get a chance, if you really like that, like, screaming. I'll play like a second of it just so you
I can play it on air. I just play it through here.
Which
one is it?
It's the one, Hesitation Wound, Brat. That one.
Boom.
Let's check it.
Play, motherfucker. Should I skip ahead?
Yeah, a little bit. It's heavy. The singer's like this little blonde girl. Yeah, okay. So it's good times, man. If you want to sit back with your lady friend.
Right there.
Yep. Yeah. They're, I don't know where I found them, but I was like, God damn. Oh, just look at the drummer. He's like freaking me, you, and Tolly put together.
Holy shit.
He's a big boy.
He's one of those boys who's so big he looks like an engorged tick.
Yeah, exactly. He looks like he's about to burst. Anyway, but yeah.
Sorry. I don't mean to fat shame someone.
Yes, no fat shaming
As
here.
a fat guy myself.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on. There, I'll throw this out here.
Can I help you, sir? Yes, what is this? Huh? This is whack! I can't get jiggy with this shit!
The one time
I thought you were dead.
I know, I saw you, and I was like, yeah, take that. Guess what, kids? Crowded House has a new song. What? Yes! The old Crowded House has got a new song called Oh Hi.
And?
It's okay. It sounds
all gay?
It's
gay.
It's
gay. All gay. Okay.
It's all gay. It's very, I mean, I love Crowded House. They do they have other songs besides, Don't Dream It's Over. They got a few other ones. Very different than Brad.
You didn't get that? You didn't get that?
Yeah. Because it's high in the middle and round in the outside. Yeah. Fucking douchebag. Yeah, if you're in the Crowded House, man, what are you gonna do?
Hold on. You know what that deserves?
We're fucking high.
That's what you deserve on that one.
It certainly does. Yeah, let's keep going, man. We got a lot of stuff here. All singles though. Nothing really as far as like the full album playlist. So next one on the playlist is Hey Kids, Pearl Jam. They have the new album coming out. This is the first single. It's called Dark Matter. Look, I'm not a huge Pearl Jam fan. I don't go deep into their catalog.
Right.
Their last album, which I forget the name of it, had some really good songs on it. And I was like, damn, I got back into Pearl Jam. I was like, every once in a while, Pearl Jam will slide in a little song, a single that you're like, fuck, that's really good. You listen to the rest of it, it's like, you're like, okay, same old shit. But they throw a couple this song, Pearl Jam, it's nothing crazy, but it's a good song, and they always throw out like one or two, so I put that on the playlist. Another one that was weird, we had talked about the Kitty documentary.
Yes.
From a couple.
I listened to this song on the ride home today from the Toy and Collectible show.
Yeah.
And I will give you my take after you talk about it.
Yeah, but I had watched it, and the documentary was a couple years old. That I caught, and I really was like, didn't really know that much about the band, but I got into them deep, and I'm like, wow, and I know Manal liked them a lot, so I was like, okay. They have a new song out. They just dropped a new single called Eyes Wide Open. Really, Eyes Wide Open. No, that's Arms Open. Or, wow. What the fuck?
I know.
When I rehearse the new day. No, but this is more of a, they're just freaking heavy as shit. You forget.
And that is my point. I listened to this, and it reminded me why I never got into Kitty.
Yeah, you're not.
They're like a girl screamo metal band. I have to say, and I was never a fan of screamo.
Yeah, they came into the scene like around the new metal scene.
Yeah.
All girl band, kind of looked different. They were young. They were like 16.
Again, nothing against that screamo metal. It's just not my brand of vodka.
Like you said, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in it. Look, I listen to Brat and I listen to fucking Crowded House, so I got a very wide palette. So yeah, they do. If you're into the, you can check that out. The Kitties go. Something about women that scream like that.
Yeah,
you're just kind of like,
look,
ooh.
I don't have a problem with it. It's just not the kind of music I enjoy listening to.
No,
so.
you know me. I go down the death metal rabbit hole. It's good stuff. But
I mean, I could picture hate fucking somebody to that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Always reminds me of that band, Darling Demoniac, back in the day. With they were a death metal. They were a death metal band. They were the girl Jessica. She was really cool. I don't think you'll ever see them on there. They were back in, talk about freaking, Back in the days when I was young. Yeah, she had a freaking band. It was a female drummer and a female singer. She was like satanic.
Did she have Trump shoes?
Yeah, she was freaking. Yep, that's them right there. Holy shit, you found them.
I can show the lyrics, but I don't think I can play the music.
That's okay.
The lineup, none.
Yeah, Jessica, she's real. I mean, she's very cool. The band was really cool. I've seen them a few times, but that was reminded me of that. All right, we got two more. We got one is a band. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, called Fever 333.
No.
Very Rage Against the Machine-ish, if I should say.
Okay.
A little bit different, but they have a new single out called Ready Rock.
Okay.
If you listen to it, it's very... there you go. That going on. Yeah, they were...
Okay.
They were.
I found Darling Demoniac. I'll check them out later.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They have a new song, Ready Rock. If you're into it, they're kind of remind me of Rage Against the Machine. Just they have like the heavy music with the rap kind of vocals. It's that, but I've heard their other stuff, and this one is a new single. And last but certainly not least, the boys at Hot Water Music, who I am seeing, I believe, in May.
Okay.
With Quicksand. Off With Their Heads was supposed to play with them too, and they're not. And I'm like, God damn it.
God damn it, Gregry.
I do love them. Off With Your Heads. They've released two songs. One I put on there called Burn Forever. It's a little different. Like, if you've listened to Hot Water Music in the past, they have the vocals are kind of not growly, but like just going that kind of gravelly kind of sound. This guy now he's starting to do like a little bit more. They've always been melodic,
Okay.
but it's a lot more cleaner vocals, and it's interesting. It's a little different, which I'm like, okay, cool. I dig it. I dig it a lot. So that's the last one I have in there. And I saw that you just dropped something from
yeah, because prior to our last, when we should have had our last show, you sent me a thing of the Dead South.
Yes.
That had come out. They dropped an EP, which was really 2 songs they had previously released with a new song on it.
Oh, okay.
Since then, they have dropped the full album, their full new album, which is, I believe it's called Chains and Stakes.
Yes.
Again, it's the Dead South. I like them. There's some really great songs, and there's 1 or 2 that I could live without.
Yeah.
But I'm a lyrics person, so I love listening to songs, listening to lyrics, waiting for like, what is the story to this song? And some of the things I'm just like, what the fuck, guys? Come on. And they got one song about a preacher who, like, this guy who gets thrown out of a town, goes, I'll be back and I'm going to fucking kill you all, and comes back and kills the preacher.
All right. Yeah,
but they're a lot of fun. They're playing, again, I still want to get tickets to go see them in October. They're playing in Hartford or New Haven or one of the closer Connecticut places.
Cool.
But they got that full-length album now, which I don't know what's happening. I feel like we had this songs from this album on our playlist.
We did, yeah. I mean,
and they're gone. And I had them in my like playlist, and they keep disappearing, and I have to keep re-adding them. I don't know if something's going on with Spotify, or if they had a problem with the album and had to re-upload it. And when you, like, when I upload the podcast, if I edit the audio because there was a mistake, if I don't, because one time Justin was like, dude, there's this whole space, because I never shifted everything over. Let's go fucking nerd out. I didn't shift everything over in GarageBand before I exported it. So there's like 5 minutes of silence at the beginning. So I had to go in, move everything over, and then re-export it. If I don't use the exact same name on Podbean, then it kind of creates all new statistics, and the old one disappears and is replaced by the statistics from the new one that I just posted. So you have to make sure everything, like the title is exactly the same of the file.
Okay.
I know I'm overcomplicating. I'm wondering if that's what happened with them. There was a problem with what they had uploaded or what was pulled, and they had to replace it with something else, which screwed everything up. All the stuff from this new album that I had on my like playlist and on the Hey Pal playlist just disappeared.
Oh, weird.
So
yeah, I mean,
fucking Spotify.
Yeah, thanks for the TED Talk.
That's where that's where people in the chat just start going, that's why I don't fucking use Spotify. They don't pay their artists and they suck.
Yeah, well, there is a lot of. I mean, look, Spotify is what it is. Like, they used to give you stats on songs. Now they're just like, if it's under 1,000 streams, they just say, oh, it's under 1,000.
But dude, if it wasn't for Spotify, I wouldn't know about the Dead South, and I wouldn't want to be going to their concert and buying merch and all that shit when I'm going.
It's a new era, my friend. You know, you got to do the lesser of the evils. And look, I didn't even say it, but I released a new song on Valentine's Day.
You did?
I did, but it's on Bandcamp only. I haven't moved it over to the streamers. Talk about... all right, let's get on a little rant before I finish my music thing.
Well, really quick. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But...
Tommy, Dead South, great band, buddy. You want to go to the concert, Tommy? October 24th.
Yeah.
Mila said she wants to come with me.
Nice, I'll go.
Mila's like, I'll go with you to a concert, Dad.
Yeah.
She doesn't care. She's like, I'll go. I'm going to go to concerts.
Yeah, she's got the bug.
You were going to say your new song, Bandcamp.
Yes, it's on Bandcamp. It will be released on all the streamers. It's an album called a song called Something Special that I wrote right in the beginning of our relationship, me and my girl, and that's why I released it on Love Day. And it looks like I'll be releasing a new album April 19th.
And when does the tour start?
God knows. Gotta get those critically shamed people. They're all freaking falling apart. Poor Helene's hand is all messed up.
No.
Gary's got gout on his foot. Sean, I don't know where the hell Sean went, but they're all disappearing.
He joined the hair club for men.
He did. So I love them all. I definitely want to do more music with them, but at the same time, I'm like, all right, I got like freaking 12 songs. I gotta get release these out, and it's really, really. I personally, I know it's a typical thing. I was like, it's the best stuff I ever wrote, but it's really good. So I'm looking forward to releasing that in April. The whole thing I was talking about with Spotify, it's just, look, I was going to take that single and release it on all the platforms. The service that I've been using for years. Now they're like, oh, you want to release a single? Go ahead. You can put it on all the platforms. It's going to cost you $9, $10 to release it on all the platforms. Do you know what my last fucking royalty check was from Spotify? $2.
I was going to say 10 cents.
$2 fucking dollars.
$2.
Of all, like,
2
look.
weeks, 10 papers.
So now, every time I want to release a song, it's going to cost me $9. Or if I want to release a whole album, it's going to cost me $19. Why the fuck am I using this service? So you can pay me pennies on the dollar?
Well, that's why I say to people, like, we don't make, the amount of money you have to, the amount of subs and listens you have to get to make money.
Yeah.
Like with this podcast, what we're paying for Restream.
Yep.
And what we're paying for Podbean to push it out to all the other services.
Mm-hmm.
We're not making any money.
No.
Not a dime.
No. At least with my music.
I'm hemorrhaging money over here, Gregry.
Dude, tell me about it. I know. There's cost involved with this stuff, man.
I'm waiting for a rich uncle to die.
Yeah, seriously. Somebody's got to invest in this shit. We don't want to end up like, crazy people. But anyway, that's all of my music and all my ranting.
All
I
right.
think we've done it, man.
Really quick.
Yeah.
I'm down at 272, which is 27 pounds total.
That's why this kid is killing it, dude. I am 269.4.
69.
Yeah, 269. I can't get past
69 who?
Yeah, I was 269 last week, so I've pretty much stayed the course. So, yeah, Johnny's beating us. JohnAlex is beating us all. But good for him, man.
Well, I'm 272, and you're gonna 269 someone.